Hey, my lovely audience, I'm Jasmine Sidhu and I'm back again with an amazing video for you all. Now, before I should talk about my today's video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe my channel. So, let's begin quickly without delaying. Now, in my today's video, I have taken up the explanation of Chapter 7 from Moments book prescribed by CBSE for 9th class students. The name of the chapter is The Last Leaf and it has been beautifully penned down by O. Henry. Now, if we look at the life of this author, O. Henry, his original name was William Sidney Porter and he was better known by his pen name, that is O. Henry. He was born on September 11, 1862 in Greensboro, North Carolina and later moved to Texas in 1882. Henry was an American author best known for his short stories. His stories actually romanticize the commonplace, in particular the life of ordinary people in New York City. And this story, The Last Leaf, this is also set against the backdrop of New York City only. Now, his stories often had a surprise endings, a device that became identified with his name and cost him critical favor when its vogue had passed. He also founded a humorous weekly named The Rolling Stone. Eventually, he passed away on 5th June 1910 in New York, United States. Now, let me give a brief introduction of the story. The story, as I told you, is set in Greenwich Village, a neighborhood of New York City in America, and most of the events take place against the backdrop of a storm during autumn season when trees shed their leaves. In this story, author depicts the value of art as it offers hope even in the most trying situations. It has the power to heal the human spirit. And a beautiful theme is talked about in this story, that is that life is precious and faith and hope in it should never be lost. We do come across many problems in our life, many hindrances in our life, but they should be overcome by fighting back in high spirits. And the story gives a beautiful message that the power of hope and optimism can help people win the most difficult situations. And another important message highlighted over here is about true friendship. If we have true friends, we should understand that they are the biggest treasure of our life. And another important point over here is that we humans need to understand that sacrifice is a great virtue. So let's look at the characters of the story. We have Sue and John C. as the main characters of the story, and both they were artists and good friends. They shared a small flat in an old building. And if I talk about Sue, she is a very loyal, caring friend, and she did everything she could do to take care of John C. when she fell ill with pneumonia. She not only took care of John C. physically but also helped by earning money by selling her paintings. She cooked and ensured that John C. received the best treatment. She is an optimist and never stops trying. Sue thus is a symbol of undying hope and selfless friendship. So we can talk about Sue as one of a true friend of John C. So let's have a look at the John C's character. John C, on the other hand, appears to have been a depressed and gloomy person who is very self-absorbed. She did not have the will to fight against her illness and did not respond to the doctor or to Sue's care and concern. She was highly imaginative and superstitious, as she came to believe that her life was linked to the number of leaves on the creeper outside her window. She believed that she would die the day the last leaf of the creeper fell. Her character puts across the message that medical treatment works only when the patient has faith and hope. If the patient has the will to survive, definitely the medicines also work. And the third important character over here in the story is Behran. Behran, he is an old painter who lived on the ground floor of the building in which Johnsy and Sue lived. He was 60-year old and all his life he had spoken of painting a masterpiece, but he had never started work on it. He was very compassionate and helpful. When Sue approaches him for help, Behrman immediately goes with her to see Johnsy. Baron feels that the girl's safety is his responsibility, and to save Johnsy's life, Baron paints an ivy leaf on the brick wall that she believes to be the last leaf. Baron contracts pneumonia while painting and dies 2 days later. He sacrificed his life in order to give life to Johnsy. So he had a beautiful soul. So let's look at the story in detail. So the story opens by depicting the scene where Johnsy could be seen lying on the bed and she was down with pneumonia. Now, if I talk about these two artists, young artists, Sue and Johnsy, as I told you, they shared a small flat. They were the struggling artists, and this flat was on the third story of an old house, and on the ground floor, Baron used to live. And in the month of November, Johnsy fell seriously ill and she was afflicted by pneumonia. Now she would lie in the bed whole day without moving, just gazing out of the window. And Sue, her friend, she became very worried. She sent for the doctor. The doctor, although he came, but he always used to say that there was no change in Johnsy's condition. And one fine day, he took Sue aside and he asked that is anything worrying Johnsy? So Sue replied that no, nothing is wrong. At that point, doctor said that it seemed that Johnsy had decided not to live and did not want to recover from the illness. In such a case, medicines won't work upon her. So Sue was actually worried. She tried her best to revive Johnsy's interest in life by talking about clothes, fashion. She even brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting so that the attention of Johnsy can be diverted, right? So that Johnsy's mind should be off from her illness. She even whistled while working, but nothing worked. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whispering something. She quickly rushed to the bed and heard that Johnsy was counting backwards. Now, Johnsy, she looked at an ivy creeper which was outside on the wall and it was shedding its leaves because of autumn season, and Johnsy was counting those leaves. She was counting 12 onwards, and at that time Sue heard her counting backwards, and Sue asked that what is all about. Johnsy, she told that she would die with the falling of the last leaves. She told that 3 days ago there were almost 100 leaves on the creeper and now only 5 were left. Though Sue, she called it nonsense and she tried to make her understand that see, this is autumn season. The tree will shed its leaf. It's natural. But it had no effect upon Johnsy. Moreover, she did not accept the soup offered to her. She kept the curtain open. Why? Because obviously Johnsy was on bed and Sue was the only earning hand in the house. She was required to complete her painting so that she could sell that and earn some money and should, get that money to help to purchase medicines and food for Johnsy and herself. So she requested Johnsy that don't look outside because I cannot draw the curtain. I requires light. But she requested that don't look outside and don't associate your life with the leaf. But nothing actually worked. Now Sue actually was very worried about her friend's condition and she was feeling helpless. She was feeling sorrow for the mindset which Johnsy had actually assumed that she will die with the last leaf of the creeper. So Johnsy was actually not ready to listen to Sue. So she felt as if she should go and talk to Baron, right? And in the meantime, she told Johnsy that you try to sleep. Don't keep on looking outside the window, right? And she told Johnsy that she'll be calling Baron because she was doing a painting of an old miner and she thought that Baron, being an old artist, will be an appropriate model for her. So she rushed to the ground floor to seek help from Baron. And when she met Baron, she told about the condition of Johnsy to Baron. She told that Johnsy had actually declared that she would not survive after the falling of the last leaf. Both of them went to Johnsy's room. At that time, Johnsy was sleeping, so they went to the adjacent room and they looked at the ivy creeper, and it was left with only one last leaf on it. And it was raining. It seemed that the last leaf would fall any time. And the storm also struck that evening, and it was quite evident that the leaf will fall. At that moment, Baron, he left the room without seeing anything. Now, next morning, when Johnsy woke up, in a very feeble voice, she asked Sue to draw the curtains. Sue was very reluctant. She was nervous actually because somewhere in her heart also she was feeling that maybe if she's gonna draw the curtains, the leaf might not be there on the wall. But anyways, Johnsy, she forced her and Sue drew the curtains very reluctantly. Sue was but glad as she announced that there still was one leaf on the creeper. It appeared green and healthy. She had thought that the leaf would definitely fall, and Johnsy added to it that if yesterday it didn't, fell, then definitely today it would fall. Why? Because time and again storm was coming again and again. So she was very hopeful that definitely today the leaf will fall and she will also die. And after every hour or so, she would look out of the window and find the leaf still there. Now that evening there was another storm, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy, she kept on looking at it, and then she called to Sue and she confessed that, see, I have been a very, very bad girl. You have looked after me so lovingly and I have not cooperated with you. I have been depressed and gloomy. The last leaf has shown me how wicked I have been, and I have realized that it is a sin to want to die. So, when she saw that healthy leaf on the wall, and after the storm, also that leaf was over there on the wall, she became very positive. She took it as a signal from God that God wants her to survive, and at that point, she realized her mistake and she confessed to Sue about her behavior. But Sue, she was glad enough to see this change in Johnsy, and she told that never mind whatever you were thinking beforehand, it's done. But now I'm happy that you are changing. And she gave her a mirror to tidy up her hair and she served her hot soup. Johnsy was now happy and bright. The doctor visited that afternoon and said that the desire to live was back in Johnsy, and he was sure that now she would definitely recover. The next morning, Sue, she sat beside Johnsy and told her that Baron died that morning. Because one day before, when the doctor came to diagnose and to check the condition of Johnsy, he told to Sue that he had to go downstairs as well because Baron was down with pneumonia. And the next morning, Baron, he died. So Sue, very emotionally, she sat beside Johnsy and she told that he is no more and he had been ill for last 2 days and he had got pneumonia. And the janitor of the building, janitor is caretaker of the building, had found him in his bed, and when he has found him in his bed, his clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had actually gone out at night during the storm. A ladder and a lantern were lying near his bed. Paint brushes, green and yellow colored paints, were also lying near his bed. So asked Johnsy to look at the leaf, and she told that you never thought that why the leaf is not fluttering. Even when the wind is blowing, the leaf is not fluttering, and after so many strong storms, still the leaf was there on the wall. At that time, she revealed that it was the masterpiece that Baron aspired to paint. And when the last leaf fell at night, he painted this one. So basically, you know, the artist, he sacrifices his own life in the process, right? But his masterpiece immortalizes him. At that point, both the girls, they realize the sacrifice done by Baron, and they were, sorry for him. But then at the cost of his life, he has actually instilled life in Johnsy. So that's all in this chapter. I hope you might have liked the video. You might have liked my content, and if you have liked, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much.